We got word today of a new outbreak at San Francisco's biggest homeless shelter. KPIX5's Wilson Walker says people were sounding the alarm for weeks. Wilson?
Well, Liz, on Sunday, the city learned that 2 people at that shelter had tested positive. They got looking into what was going on. By the middle of the week, they had 5 people who had tested positive. And tonight, the city has a very big problem on its hands. In fact, they're still trying to figure out just how large that problem is.
An outbreak has occurred in MSC South, one of our shelters. 70 people, 68 members of the shelter, as well as 2 staff members who have tested positive for COVID-19.
The largest shelter in San Francisco is now functioning as a ward for the infected, with medical staff on hand in case anyone gets seriously ill.
Many of them have chronic health conditions and are vulnerable to getting very sick or even dying from coronavirus.
The announcement of the outbreak comes after a weeks-long dispute over how to best shelter the city's homeless.
We need to move people into hotels now. It is absolutely inevitable that we're going to have outbreaks in all the shelters. It's impossible not to.
It was inevitable. It was also preventable. A month ago, I was yelling and screaming and demanding of them to move these people out of that environment.
Supervisor Matt Haney warns the outbreak has implications beyond the shelter.
If you think this is just about unhoused or homeless people, you've got it wrong. People who are unhoused and homeless interact regularly with people who are not. And the potential for this to spread from large crowded shelters to the street, to people who are housed, to impact people who are close to you and me and who we know is huge.
That possibility now has the city doing detective work to figure out what kind of spread the outbreak might be causing beyond shelter doors.
This is a 24-hour, round-the-clock operation, and the situation and numbers are changing.
Okay, there's a lot to figure out from here. Now, 71 people in that shelter have tested negative, along with the 70 who have tested positive. The negative test results, they have all been sent to places like hotels and other type of arrangements to be isolated away from those who are infected and are going to stay in that shelter being looked over by medical staff in case they get sick. But again, the real question now is what might be the impact beyond the shelter and the 70 folks they know of? Has this spread to the population on the street? Has it spread beyond that? 5 to 70 in just a couple of days, a real good reminder of how quickly the virus can spread in the right conditions. The city says it's now trying to move more people into hotels, starting with the most vulnerable. We are live in San Francisco. Wilson Walker, KPIX5.